Alright, so today I thought I would show you how I test PlayStation 2's, kind of walk you through my process. So I have 38 PlayStation 2's to test this afternoon, 18 original PlayStation 2's and 20 slim PS2's. And like I mentioned in the last video, I like to make sure that I have everything that I need at hand. So I think I'll probably just talk about what I need to have at hand before I test all this stuff, which I already do all right here in front of me. And then we'll test some PS2's real quick. So very quickly, what do I need? I have my testing station here. I have 4 screens. I will only be using 2 of them today. I only had 2 screens for testing for a long time, and the only reason that I added the extra 2 was for Xbox One consoles, because those can take up to an hour just to update and initialize before you can even test them. So I like to get 4 going at once and then go do something else. And that just helps me get through the Xbox Ones more quickly. Otherwise, with games or PlayStation 2 and any of these earlier consoles, they're so quick where you can just put in the game, make sure that it runs for a minute or two. You're so hands-on that adding a third or fourth. I've tried testing 3 or 4 consoles at a time with these, but you're swapping things out so quickly. I ended up just getting less efficient because I was switching tasks too often. So 2, I think, is kind of the sweet spot for me right now. So I have 4 screens. I'll be using 2 of them. These are basically just basic LCD 7-inch displays I found on Amazon on sale at different times. They're all different models. They all have an HDMI cable coming out and going into this master kind of snake of cables that I have right here coming out from this testing station. So some of the things that I have in here are 4 HDMI cables that are all color coded. Here's the yellow one, and they all have a little color code that I can see coming out the side of them there that matches to each screen. So I have 4 color coded HDMI cables, each going to each of these 4 different screens. In this case, we are doing a PlayStation 2, which needs cables like this. And I'm realizing I might only have one of them, but I might just need to check my PlayStation 1 bin. But here's what it looks like, and I need to use red, white, and yellow. So what I've done is on 2 of my screens over here, I have added a HDMI switcher, and it switches into a converter that converts this signal into HDMI. So on these top 2 screens, I can plug this stuff in. On any of these old school consoles, like I said, I only use 2 screens at a time, so I only have these converters installed on the top 2 screens. So that's what I'll be using today. So this one goes in here. And I'm going to need to check my PlayStation 1 bin I mentioned. So this is my PS2 bin. I have lots of shelves over here, obviously, and so what I have is 2 controllers. I typically have 2 audio video cables, but one of them might have gotten snuck into the PlayStation 1 bin, so I'm going to go check that real quick. 2 controllers, and then I also have these additional power supply bricks that you need for the slim models to power them up. So let me check my PlayStation 1. I think I can reach here real quick. So it accidentally made its way into my PlayStation 1 bin, but here's another of the identical just audio video cable for PlayStation 2. It's the same for PS1. So I just put it in the wrong one. And then I also have these color coded to just help me remember as I'm doing it. I tend to have red be right and then left be yellow, because yellow has 2 L's, I guess. It's easier to remember for me. So yellow is the left console, red is the right console. So that's the order that I'll be placing the 2 consoles in, because I'm going to be testing the consoles 2 at a time here. So we're going to plug in the PlayStation audio video cables. So right now we have a PlayStation audio video cable, the red and the yellow. I'm going to hit the switcher here to make sure that they're both on. The switcher, sorry, the converter, to make sure that these are both displaying the output from these cables. And then what we're going to need is the power cable for these consoles, which for the original PlayStation 2 is not the full figure 8. This is the polarized one, so it has a squared off plug on one side. So in my snake of cables here, I have 2 cables that are squared off, and I have labeled them with a purple color. So I just need to grab that other purple one. So these are permanently plugged into a power strip back behind here, so I can use these two power cables to just plug directly into my two PS2s. Okay, so this is going to be the right one, so I'm going to plug the red audio video cable into this one. Just place it down. While I'm over here, good reminder to just wear gloves. You don't know where these consoles have been. I have nitrile gloves, but I've also recently been loving these mechanics gloves because you can just throw them in the washing machine, and they come in all different sizes, and I found a really good deal on eBay where I got the unit price on these down to like $4. So I think I'm going to get a lot of uses out of them, and that'll actually pay for itself pretty quick. If I get 40 uses out of them or something, that, you know, pays for the cost of one of these. So anyway, so already a good sign. We got the red light activated on this one PS2 as I plug the power in. So that's just a good confirmation that the power strip's working, all that stuff. So I'm going to grab a second PS2. This will be on the left screen. So I'm going to plug in the yellow AV cable and then grab another purple. I chose purple for polarized. So polarized power cable, squared off end. And then as far as being prepared, generally just always microfiber cloths, although I'm not going to do any cleaning on the consoles that I sell as 4 parts. I'm only going to do any more deep cleaning for the consoles that are fully passing my test, and then I'll give them a full clean. So I'm not going to worry about that right now, but just nice to have on hand. I do have 2 sets of discs here that I just ran through my disc resurfacer, and I like to test it with both. If the console happens to have discs that are different colors, I think often that needs either a different laser or a different lens. I'm not exactly sure how the technology works inside the PlayStations, but sometimes when the lasers or the thing that reads the discs inside the console is going out, it will read one kind of disc but not the other. So for things like PlayStation 1, which has, you know, the silver and the black, or this one, PlayStation 2, which has the blue and the silver, I like to just test all the different kinds of discs if a console happens to have different kinds of discs to make sure that it's able to read all of them. So what else is necessary? I think that's it. Oh, controllers, I guess. I'll plug a controller into each one just to get ready here. But I think that allows us to get started. One of my rules for testing video games, unfortunately, if you like interesting content, and this is more getting to the point kind of content, is I always test with boring games. I don't want to get tempted, so I just grab random games. This is literally a startup disc from Sony, so try that out. You got a March Madness game. That actually does seem kind of fun, but not for me today. I'm feeling focused. We're going to be testing a ton of consoles today. 38's fun. This is just probably not even all the consoles I'll be getting to today, although I will be listing these and pre-packing them as well. So, hey, good sign on the right. We got a game loading already. The disk drive, it's sounding bad. It's sounding like it's spinning up and then spinning down. But it could just be reading, I'm not sure. And now it's continuing to spin. If you hear the immediate spin up, spin down, spin up, spin down, that's a bad sign. It does sound like it's getting scratched or something in there. I'll know because I just cleaned these discs, so they're like perfect mirror finish before we started. Not looking too good on the left one either. The right one might be working. The left one is not even trying. I can hear it, I can feel it buzzing, but I don't think it's going to work. So that's going to be a no on the left one. So literally, oh shoot. I didn't mess up the microphone. I'm going to know why this microphone soon. I'll try to keep this out of the way. It's so loud, that volume of the PlayStations, and that's on 3 out of 100. Oh, it's working. I'll let that go. I want to get it to load some stuff. It is still sounding a little bit loud, but sometimes that's just how these PlayStation 2 disc drives are, but yeah, I gotta say, these mechanics gloves, I'm trying them out. Not as good for that fine dexterity like grabbing discs out of the tray, so I'm gonna have to switch to nitrile gloves here. But it's just better to save your hands. You don't want to be exposing your hands to, you know, not just whatever's on all these discs, but also the cleaners that we use and all that dust and stuff. I mean, not to get too gross out, but like if you put lotion on your hands and assume that it's going to absorb, then isn't everything else you put in your hands to some degree going to be absorbing as well? Maybe. I don't know. Let's see if I can start a game here. Oh, it's looking pretty good. And then I'm going to start another one on the left here, another test. Yellow for the left. Plug AV in power. Okay, plug in the controller here. That's a good sound, good startup sound. There's a lot of fun console startup sounds, a lot of nostalgia. All right, this one seems like it's working good. So I'm going to test it with a silver disc after this. If it fully loads up this game and gets it started, I'll test it with a silver PlayStation 2 disc. Got a couple random ones. Oh, these are actually kind of fun. I just picked random ones that were already pretty clean and then threw them in my resurfacer to make sure they were definitely going to work. We got Battle Racing Ignited, Burnout Revenge, and SOCOM. SOCOM would not be my kind of game, but Burnout, yeah, definitely. Driving around, crashing into stuff. Sounds awesome. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a blue one as well on the left. Let's see if that reads anything. And this one on the right does seem to be getting caught up. I don't know what's going on there. It's just a lot of loud clicking. I'm not sure about that. It might be off too. So I'm just going to start making two piles of working and not working. So we will see. I'm trying to see if that loading bar moved or not. I don't hear the disc being very loud, but I'll give it another couple minutes. So, yeah, looks like this one isn't working either. Alright, cool. Well, these do have big X's from whoever the previous owner was drawn all over them. I don't know if you can see that in Sharpie, so didn't have much hope for these things. That is okay. I tend to sell these in packs, 2 or 3 pack, depending on shipping prices. I usually do some research on what's going to be most affordable. Usually it comes down to cubic rate shipping. So keeping it under 20 pounds and under 1 cubic foot of volume is usually the most affordable shipping, because even if you're not shipping USPS, you are probably shipping UPS Saver or FedEx Saver, which ends up handing it off to USPS. And so it does matter what USPS things, and they like stuff under a cubic foot and under 20 pounds as far as the most affordable shipping. So this one, I heard it, but I don't see it. Oh, and it does feel horrible inside that AV plug, the left one here. Yeah, sounds like some of the video pins are probably damaged. All right, this one is going in the broken pile. And this one I'm about to give up hope on too. I'll give it another 30 seconds or so, but the right one has gotten stuck. I kind of had a bad feeling about it with that loud disk drive. The big X's in Sharpie all over it as well. Didn't give me a lot of confidence, but it was working initially. It had a weird sound. You want your disk drive to have loud clicking. You can hear the whirring. It should be spinning quickly even, but no, we don't want to be clicking super hard. Oh, this one's getting stuck. Is there a game in there? Do you have treasure for me? I don't think so. So, I guess for a little background, yeah, my wife and I, we run an eBay store, no employees, just the two of us. We do $1,000 a day in sales. The target this year is to do the same, $1,000 a day, but to make it easier. So that's that was my New Year's resolution, was same workload but easier, or same output, maybe less workload would be ideal. So it looks like this one isn't turning on at all. Oops. Just dropped a roll of tape down there. This one, even flicking the power switch and with the power cord securely in, so that's an immediate no, going in my 4 parts pile. But it has this hard drive / Ethernet adapter. So you just need a flathead screwdriver. Quickly unscrew these 2 screws. This one's actually a little bit too large. I need to get a slightly smaller one, but it's still doing the job. Yeah, I actually need my smaller screwdriver. Be a lot easier. Oh shoot, I just screwed up my microphone. 1 second. Okay, I'm back with a smaller screwdriver. And hopefully I'm going to be a little more careful until I get my little wireless mic set up. With this old wired lapel microphone. This is how they used to do it back in the day. So this is another 4 parts one. And this one is going in the bin too. This one is still stuck. Oh shoot, I forgot, of course, to eject my blue testing disc. Need to get that back. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, maybe soon we'll get to some other PS2s, maybe from a different vendor that do not have a bunch of X's over them like this one. Yeah, I don't see any X's in Sharpie all over this one, so that's good. Oh, a little bit of bad sound. But that's a good sound. I hear that startup sound. It's good. We'll see. So we got 1 Ethernet adapter harvested so far. I think I sell these for $18.99 or something. All right, let's get some discs in here. Ooh, we got a bonus disc. Guitar Hero 2. Classic. Out, please. Thank you. Oh, one of them wants to keep pulling in, but sometimes those... Oh, I just literally, this drive literally just broke in front of me. I heard it crack. That is unfortunate. Oh God, it literally won't even go in. Okay, yeah, sorry, buddy. I was able to salvage my disc, but that one ain't going in the 4 parts pile for sure. Okay, let's grab another PS2 here. So far, none of these have worked, but that's going to make my job a little easier today. Because, like I mentioned, selling as 4 parts means I'm not going to have to worry about deep cleaning them as much. I just need to get them not gross. So no one's going to be bummed out receiving them. Yeah. Sorry. That was a mistake. I'm going to let that cook for a second. I forgot where I was. Okay, so I'm letting that left one load and the right one load a blue disc. So I'm doing blues first. So if it successfully loads a blue disc, I can move on to the silver disc. But so far, none of these have worked at all. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 PS2 that are not working at all so far. PS2 disc, yes. This one seems like it's working as well. That's good. No weird sounds so far. That's a good sign. This Guitar Hero 2, I'll throw in the resurfacer and probably just sell it as a disc and just a replacement generic black case. So, let's see. We're loading. This one on the right does seem like it's struggling a little bit to maintain a high speed. It seems like it gets up to a high disk speed and then it spins down slightly, so we'll see. Okay, yeah, wow, yeah, great. Missing hardware, missing network adapter. That's what you'd expect. This is a online internet connection disk. So I'm going to call that a success. Okay. So I'm going to putting the silver disc in, level 2, and restart it. And this one, let's see if we can get a game going. Sounds good though. Yeah, good. Everything, yeah, just might have 2 working ones finally. Just gotta stick to it. And yeah, I'll be able to get these, like I said, I'm gonna get these in and out in the next hour or 2. So we'll get them tested, and then I'll put them, I'll have to look into my sold listings. I don't remember if it's 2 or 3 that I did the math on. I think it's 3 that I can sell. What I mean is for the 4-part slots, these consoles that aren't working, I'm just stacking up in the corner over here. I'll sell them in lots of 3 on the old eBay. And that'll go quick, and then I will pre-pack them. So I mentioned that as well in a previous video, that anything that is a harder item to ship on eBay, I try to pre-pack it in a box with bubble wrap and everything, where I just need to print a label and put it right on top when it does sell. And I just find that it makes me more motivated to take offers, more motivated to sell things. And that is what we're in the business of, is selling things. We need to do everything that we can to get ourselves excited when we get an offer, and just willing to get these things in and out. Because it is a lot easier to store money than it is to store items. Because money, if you put it into a business high yield savings account like I do, that means you're making your money make money for you instantly every time you get a payout. So get that money and start making it make interest for you. It's a very satisfying feeling. So, and we got some epic music over here, and I'm feeling hopeful. This is looking good. So Calm is looking good. Yeah, this game is going. Okay, so great. This NCAA is working on the left, which means it can move on to level 2, silver disc, burnout, and then this right one I think has finished. It's looking good. So we have our first working console. That's great. I'm gonna shut this one off. So this one will get a clean and polish, not an actual polish, just a clean with rubbing alcohol and a microfiber cloth, and then I will include a brand new power cable and AV cable and list that thing on eBay. So keep testing the second disc on that one. We got another Ethernet adapter to harvest. We can go ahead and leave that on, I guess, for this test. No. I'm not testing the Ethernet adapter. This one seems heavy though. This one might have a hard drive as well. We'll see. Oh yeah. Wow. Very cool. Looks like it's a half-size hard drive. It's really interesting. Yeah, I might sell that separately. It's really nice. Yeah, it's an official Sony hard drive with the rails. It's got an SCPH model number. I've only seen this kind of, I guess, jerry-rigged with just regular IDE hard drives. I don't remember ever seeing an official Sony hard drive, so that's pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. And then another Ethernet adapter. Should go for $18.99 or so. And that one's looking good. Oops. Still testing burnout on that one, of course. That's looking good. It's looking like maybe 2 good ones. All right, here's another one with Sharpie X's all over it. Not sounding good. Not seeming good, but we'll see. We'll see. It's got a bonus disc. We got NASCAR Thunder 2002 to go along with Guitar Hero 2 for the PlayStation 2. Both console appropriate, at least, which is nice. A little surprising. You never know what you're going to find in these consoles. But at least it makes it easy to categorize them later. And the one thing I don't want is a DVD. That just doesn't have much resale value for my business model. Ooh, we are getting some clicking out of the left console here on its level 2 silver disc, so I'm not sure about that. A blank screen. That's clicking a lot. This is why we test them. Fully get into a game, make sure it really can load. Yeah, these don't tend to have overheating problems. As long as the fan seems like it's working, but yeah, neither one of these are looking good right now. This one with all X's has got nothing for me, so blue disc goes back on the pile. Oh, here we go, here we go. Okay, it made it through. Hey, it wasn't that loud of a click. Yeah, okay. So this one's gotta go, but this one I think is passing level 2, but I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna really try to load up a game here. Make sure that fully works. I don't have full confidence in that yet. Okay, I'm gonna have to move this stack of PS2 Slims to the side here for a minute. We're almost through with the fat PS2s. Excuse my clumsiness. That will not be the first time I drop things. Alright, there's my stack of PS2s. 20, if I counted correctly, 20 PS2 Slims. And we're almost done with these 18 fats. And this is how you do it. You get through them. You collect them until you have a ton. And then you test them all at once. Wait, is this another NASCAR Thunder? That's some weird deja vu. Another NASCAR Thunder 2002. That is so random. Alright, make way for the cobbled streets of Eternal City. Burnout Revenge. Looking good. The intro video fully loaded, but let's get a race going. I want to really test this disk drive again. Push the start button to continue. I am. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Load me a map. Yeah, nice. Okay. This one is a no. That's a no for me, dog. So let's go into the no pile. So, grab another PS2 fat. One of my favorite parts about testing consoles is turning it on, pushing eject for the first time. I'm trying to see if there's a disc in there, a bonus disc. I think that's what Jacob R calls it. Bonus disc. Love that. Keep knocking this cable. It's a hard knock life. The wired life. I cannot wait for wired microphones. Oh yeah. This Block Party and the soundtrack. Damn, this is why I can't put in fun games. Yeah, but this PS2 is working great. Restart it. We're gonna eject. Thank you. So that's 2 working, and 9 not working so far. Not the worst hit rate I've ever seen, but definitely not the best. But hey, 3 Ethernet adapters. This is number 3. That's cool. This one doesn't seem super heavy, so yep, just the adapter. But still, lots of good value. And then these working consoles, I'm looking to get at least $80 for the good condition ones, including the cables that you need and all that. I don't include controllers, I sell those separately. But I do include all the cables you need for the console itself to work, get up and running. too. I'm getting old. Gotta change positions. Whew. Do a little stretch while we work here. Good reminder. Stay hydrated. It's part of it. Part of preparation. Not just my tools, but I also made sure I was hydrated and eat your lunch, eat your vegetables, all that. All right, NCAA. March Madness. Looking good on number one for the right console here. It'd be great. If we can get one more hit, that'll be 3-9.